Yes, we're playing works that were composed uh, for Woodwind Quintet, but also we're playing popular music and music that was originally composed for piano. And I mean, we among our members, we have people that make arrangements for the ensemble, and well, a couple of friends that we can commission music to. But the thing is, most of the works we're playing were not composed originally for the quintet, but we're making this yeah this transportation, this arrangement to the quintet to also give it a fresh point of view, right, from us. Also, well, if I may start with the songs we're gonna play. Actually, I would say that this concert would be divided in three parts, where the first will be music from the Romantic period in Mexico, late 19th century, early 20th century, with two waltzes. The waltz was very popular in those years. Um, yeah, well, especially from the influence of the Emperor Maximiliano, and also, well, a lot of people had a chance to go to Europe to study and then come back and bring well what they learned and mix it with the, of course, with the Mexican culture. So these waltzes that we'll play, which for example the first will be from composer Enrique Mora, the waltz Alejandra, which this piece has a very interesting story because it was commissioned by a, a person named Rafael Oropesa. I mean, the question is, the important thing here is that he was in love with a lady named Alejandra. So in those years, it was very common, of course. I mean, in people who had the way to afford it, to commission a piece to a composer and give it as a token of appreciation to someone you liked or you loved. And actually, the piece itself was, or the printing itself of the piece was a gift. So you could lure the person you like to some place, have the music played for her, and then you give the sheet music as a gift. And well, that was considered very special. And actually, I mean, I'm gonna try to share my screen so I could show you how those because the covers of those pieces were works of art, literally.
Yes.
So let me try to show you because I did a little research. Yeah, here it is. So look, this is and one of the examples. This was probably not the first edition, but this is a big idea of how works looked in, or how the covers of the sheet music looked in those days. Um, so you can go to the publisher and have an artist make a drawing, and you have a very nice gift for the person you love.
Isn't that great? I always think music is always the greatest gift, isn't it?
Totally, yeah, yeah. It's something that stays there forever,
Mhm.
and we get to enjoy it. I mean, this piece was first performed in 1907, and well, still we get the chance to hear it and enjoy it in exchange of a bouquet of flowers, which yeah could be very beautiful, but lasts a couple of weeks if you will, and then that was it. So yeah, I agree with you. Music is the greatest gift.
That's
So
beautiful. That's a beautiful cover.
yeah, so this is from the first waltz we're gonna play, and then another waltz from another composer named Felipe Villanueva. He well, he also he had a chance. He didn't go to Europe, but had an influence from his teachers, and he composed this sort of waltz in 1890. He played music, piano and violin, and he started among with other composers and teachers. He started. Uh, they call them a musical institute, which is it was like a center for people to go and well, let's say, I mean, learn about music. And one of his pupils was the recipient for this waltz that we play, which is called Vals Poético.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look here, you can see another set of covers for sheet music from Felipe Villanueva. The first image you see on the left is the actual cover of the first edition of the music.
Oh, it's
Uh,
beautiful. Yeah.
so yeah, you can read it, and the top it says a mi discípula, señorita María Pascal, which means to my pupil. Disciple means María Pascal. I couldn't find much information about her, but this Vals Poético gained a lot of fame among the connoisseurs and society of music in Mexico. And I mean, it was declared to be one of the most representing pieces of what we call Porfiriato, which was the period where President Porfirio Diaz was a dictator from around 1880 till 1910, before the Mexican Revolution. So yeah, it's like the anthem of that period. And well, and the other two images you see on the right, well, they're from another waltz. I mean, this time we want to have a chance to play, maybe in the future. But it's just this is just to show how the art was in those days to present music and to yeah, make it look great as
Yeah.
well.
That's, that particular time period is my personal favorite. It goes along with La Belle Époque of the
Mm-hmm.
late 19th century, that turn, what you say, the Porfiriato, and it's a time of very sophisticated music that was happening in Mexico in the Romantic period, and then of course with Carlos Chavez and all of the that new movement, that new nationalistic movement in the 20th century. This kind of went away a little bit, but it's so interesting to go back and look at this kind of mix between Mexican and Europe, and what composers came out with writing this beautiful music. It's definitely, I'm very excited to hear this music in the Woodwind Quintet setting, because
Yeah,
I just think it's going to be, I just think it's going to translate very beautifully.
yeah, I'm sure you will see.
Hmm.
And well, here I mean, just along the way, I found another example. I mean, for example, these pieces are from Juventino Rosas, which is another big waltz composer. Lived in the same period of Felipe Villanueva. And well, yeah, this is just to show a couple of examples. I know this is for later. Uh, and yeah, another. This is just a, a little picture I found along the way of Also one of the first editions of the Mexican national anthem was composed also around those years. But well, yeah, my point is to to show how this art was that also came with the music. It
It
was
was the
also
whole. It was the whole package, right? It was the whole
exactly
experience. The whole experience. The visual and the also the music.
exactly. And well, then the next section of our concert will be now actually music that was written for the Woodwind Quintet. We're going to start with Arturo Marquez, which this composer is, I guess, world known for his danzón dos.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in this case, he composed this danza del mediodía or noon dance, as it also is written in the sheet music. Um, well, this work, I tried to do some research, but I couldn't find a lot about the history of some background about the name or the word. But of course, I can talk about the music. Actually, it's also based on the same rhythm of the danzón. It starts, yeah. Actually, I think it could be easily choreographed by either a dancing couple, or I think it could be also put on a contemporary dance set, and it could also fit very well. I think it's very um, yeah. I think it's very fit. It fits very well for dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And the first part of the piece starts, yeah, with a slow feeling of the danzón, and then in the middle, it turns into some kind of ritual, or some kind of more fiery music, a little bit more like, I don't know, for example, if you have heard the danzón dos, it turns a little bit the part of the trumpet solo, you
Yes,
know. So it's a bit more
I can hear it right
the
now.
rhythms.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the rhythms are more square, more straight, more a lot of sforzandos, and then the third part starts sounding also like more like a mambo, more moved, more way more rhythmical. I would say the last part would be a less fit for a contemporary dancing, more for like couple dancing, And I would say if he didn't name this noon dance, probably would have called it. What's the next dance song for Marquez? Could be dance song 9 or dance song 10, because the structure is very similar, I'd say.
Is this,
And
I'm sorry, Nestor. Is this
yes,
piece is it written originally for Woodwind Quintet or is it an
yes,
arrangement? Oh,
yes. This was originally written for
wow.
Quintet.
Okay, that's great. I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, yeah, I'd say that yes, this totally has the same structure as the orchestral danzones, but yeah, in this case, it's explicitly written for the quintet.
Mm-hmm.
And now the next piece, well, actually, we're gonna just play one movement from Mario Lavista's Cinco Danzas Breves. We have already played this piece in a previous occasion. This piece is, I mean, I think for the context of the music we've been playing and the planning we made for this concert, we thought that this piece was going to be a little bit, how do you say, like out of the context of the rest of the music. So in this case, that's why we chose to only one movement, which is from the five dances, the dance number 3. Uh, we chose this. Well, I think it's our favorite movement of the five movements that this work has. And what we can say about this, well, this is completely contemporary modern music. It's something that has actually nothing to do with the rest of the program. I mean, of course, it's a Mexican composer, but the style and everything is uh, totally written in a contemporary style. Um, but it's based actually on this movement. The third movement is based on composing technique used in from medieval times called the hocket, which is a melody which is parted between two instruments or two voices, or yeah, two voices or two instruments in our case. Uh, while the other instruments, I mean, the hocket is played by the horn and the bassoon. So the bassoon starts melody, and then the horn intervenes, and then the bassoon again. So while we both are playing one melody, the oboe, flute, and clarinet are playing a different thing on top of us. Um, this piece is actually very short, lasts probably I don't know, around 2 minutes or so. But we chose it because I tell you, first, it's our favorite movement of the whole work, and also I think because it was the something where each of us could do something very different to what we were playing before. So with this piece, we will conclude, I'd say, the second part of the concert, and then to go to the last part. This last part will be based on Mexican popular songs. And we're gonna play music from different authors. I think what they all have in common is that well, they were all very famous in, whether it was by because their music was made famous for films, on the radio, or just became a part of the popular culture, even from television. So the first song we'll play from Alfonso Esparza is called Dime que sí. This song, well, actually, most of the songs that we're gonna play right now have this theme in common. They're about love and about the certainty and uncertainty of it. You know, like how we think, oh, will she love me? I don't know. I wish she does, etc. And well, in this case, dime que sí, or say yes, it's actually well, yeah, just a person talking about love to someone and hoping to be corresponded. What could we say about Alfonso Esparza is that, well, for example, he was one of the founders of the Composers and Arrangers Union back in 1995, because this is what happened, a little bit what happened with composers before, you know, 1940s, 1930s. They would go to the publishing company and sell their work for some amount of money. And then, depending on all the copies that were sold, I mean, the profits were for the publishing company, and the composer, well, just, they sold their rights, and that was it. And I mean, in order to change this a little bit, Alfonso Esparza started the Composers Union, which a couple of years later, in 1949, became the Mexico City Society for Writers and Composers. And this is the society that up to date protects the copyright of thousands of popular songs. So
Wow, so that's a big That's a big deal. That's a big legacy.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So from Alfonso Esparza, well, he composed also a lot of songs, and well, this a personal favorite of our clarinet player, Alma Huerta. She chose this song and she made the arrangement, and well, we're playing this.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it is actually. I mean, this concert also has a lot of our personal taste or what we have experienced. I mean, actually, because I mean, we're kind of a young ensemble. I'm one of the oldest members, and I'm 35 years old. So a lot of this music, actually, we heard it because I don't know, we probably were 9 or 10 or 12, and we were watching an old movie on TV. Or also here in Monterey, there's a radio station that plays music from, I guess the latest is the 1960s. Yeah, so they play songs from the 1930s to the 1960s. Actually, you can sometimes hear the needle of the turntable. Sometimes they even play records.
Wow.
Uh, so yeah, and especially, well, we heard music on the radio, and then we had a chance to watch it in movies and say, oh, that's where it comes from. That's the relation, between what we heard in the radio and then what we saw on TV. So, for example, the next piece we're going to play is Estrellita from Manuel Maria Ponce, also a big composer, super famous in Mexican music. I mean, we know him for his orchestral works, but he also has a lot of songs, and especially love songs. So, in this case, Estrellita uh, talked about a very similar uh, subject of the other song, which is in this case, there's a person who's asking star in the sky about also if he is being corresponded by the person he loves. Um, so and also this piece has been sung by I don't know, a lot of people, a lot of people. The latest version we've heard is from the singer Natalia Lafourcade with an arrangement, an orchestral arrangement composed, I mean, or conducted by Alondra de la Parra. That's the latest version I've heard, but there are many
Oh,
of them. It's a Mexican favorite, and the next piece is called. Well, actually, this was something we discovered kind of recently from also Mexican composer Maria Grever, whose, I mean, original name was Maria de la Portilla, but she married someone from the United States, moved to New York, and I mean, she also had the chance to went to France, studied music, studied piano, studied composition. Actually, she had the chance to study with Claude Debussy among her teachers. So she gets all this knowledge in France, comes back to Mexico, marries this American man, Mr. Grever or Grever, I'm not sure about, Grever, and then they move to New York, and Maria makes her life goal to promote Mexican music from someone who was born and raised in Mexico and live in the U.S. So, and she had a chance to become a music writer for Hollywood movies.
Wow.
She wrote many scores for Hollywood movies. Which, for example, this song, which in Spanish is "Te quiero dijiste," but in English, the name of this song was "Magic is the Moonlight," which theme was used in a 1944 movie called Bathing Beauty. Uh, yeah, I mean, we actually here in Mexico, we only heard, of course, the Spanish version, which has also been sung by many interpreters. But the new thing for us, which we found, I'll tell you, when we were planning this concert and we did a little research and we found out that Maria Grever composed this piece and it is that is used in the opening credits of this movie. And I mean the music is used is used on the opening credits. And then 5 minutes into the movie, you listen to the Spanish version song as part of the movie. You know, in those years, it was very popular to you have all the plot going on, and then they insert a song in the middle, and then they go on with the story. But songs, I mean, all the movies were musical, many of them. So this song is used there, and he also talks about love and about this making it a very beautiful description of a woman and all the reference and all the poetic language it uses. I mean, it's very beautiful. This time, well, it will be instrumental, but the lyrics are very well known, and I'm pretty sure anyone who hears it can uh, sing their song in their head.
That's exciting. I'm really looking forward to hearing that particular selection, and I love that you mentioned the life in the United States, right? The representation of Mexico's musical talents, musical life in the United States, in particular in Hollywood industry. Um, it's so important. And really,
Yeah.
what we're trying to do here as well is that, and the reason why I started this project is to bring that awareness out more, not only in the U.S. I mean, mostly focused in the U.S., but we know that through the internet this can be watched globally. But
Exactly.
it is the making the connections with the U.S. and Mexico through music that frankly, like, we need a lot right now. We need any kind of positive connection that we can make between the two countries will be very beneficial because the political climate is so tense right now.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm looking forward to hearing that. I'm sure it's a fabulous work.
Yes. It's very beautiful music. And well, to close this concert, we're gonna end with two pieces from another composer, Rubén Fuentes. Rubén Fuentes was a composer whose music also was very widely used in Mexican music. I mean, in Mexican movies of what we called the golden age of Mexican cinema, which I think its peak was around the decade of the 1950s. So this song, Cien Años, was made famous by this actor, Pedro Infante, uh, who was a big movie star. And well, it was used in the movie as part of the also as part of a plot in the middle of the of the movie. This happens. Well, this movie is a bit more on the typical Mexico on some town with everybody wearing their uh, sombreros charros and dressed as charros, and the ladies wearing those colorful dresses with uh, green, white, and red bows. I mean, this movie moves in a typical, I mean, more like traditional Mexican small town.
Yeah, it's a folk setting, more traditional, more representative of that nationalistic era
Exactly.
that happened around that time in the 1950s, they when radio came about more and mariachi came about to be more popular. Um, so yeah, I can see it visualize. I can see it in my head right now. The way that the movie, and it's obviously probably in black and white.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. It's in black and white, and yeah. Actually, I mean, the scene is there's Pedro Infante who pulls the mariachi from the all the people, and they're behind him, and he's sitting in a cantina. They're in a table, and he's looking at in the character in the movie is Elsa. So he looks in the eyes to Elsa and sings the song to her with the mariachi in the band and a lot of people around. I mean, I think it's a very beautiful scene and a very beautiful song too.
I really like that you are doing the music from La Belle Époque, right? From the for the sophisticated European late 19th century, and then you're doing this music from this era in the mid 20th century where there's like the traditional folk, more emphasis on the folk Mexican, and this, like you said, the golden age of movies in Mexico, which actually was an international. I mean, these movies were global, right? I mean, they represented Mexico globally, and it's interesting to think about because I almost feel like these movies helped almost strengthen those stereotypes that a lot of people think that since they watched in other countries, they watch these Mexican movies and they see the sombreros and the all this typical folk and they think that that's what Mexico is, right? They think that
Yeah, yeah.
Mexico
They
is.
they they had so strong influence that it stuck. That
Yeah, these
image.
movies that it stuck, right? In the United States, for example, here they saw probably some of these movies and they thought, oh, Mexico is only folk music, it's only mariachi and sombreros and this, but so it's good to counterbalance that with some of that earlier times of the music where the more in the romantic period, because I feel like that also that gets lost. Sometimes people don't understand that Mexico had a romantic period in music. Mexico had a classical period in music. They had even a Baroque period in music, right? So it's nice that in this concert you're bringing all of that together.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That was yeah, one of the main purposes uh, of this concert. Try to, I mean, of course, it's too broad. It's hard to bring every single little thing on a concert,
Yeah.
but but yeah, that was the main purpose of this. Try to cover as much as we could, but also while putting, as I told you, some of our own. Contribution of what we like, and the thing that we actually got uh, motivated to make the arrangement, to put the time, and share it with the world.
All right. Well, speaking of that, how where is it going to be broadcast the concert? And, is there a ticket? Is it free or is it open? Is it live
Yeah,
free or is
it's
there a link?
Yeah, well, before I get there, let me tell you just only about the last song we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah, of
play.
course. Absolutely. I'm skipping ahead here.
Yes, yeah, this is the last song. It's pretty brief. Also from Rubén Fuentes. This song is called La Viquina. Uh, I think for this song the most famous version is from Luis Miguel. I think I mean if you YouTube, I mean if you try to Google that song, it's you're gonna find the first 137 hits are gonna be covers from Luis Miguel. I mean what we can say about this song? Actually, this is a little exception of all the love and love uncertainty that we've been dealing with on these past songs. Actually, these songs it's just about a lady who was wearing a bikini in a beach, and the composer just I mean he was there. Uh, and he saw this woman and just made up a story about her, like just by looking at her and looking that she was, I don't know, probably in a certain pose or in a certain way of standing, and he just by looking at her didn't even know her, but made up a story about her. Like he said, no, I think this lady stands up there very proud. Probably she has been let down by love, but she overcome it, and now she's stronger and she can decide what she wants for her, something like that. So yeah, this song is probably not as deep as the other ones, but also it has received uh, a lot of fame and especially great arrangement from mariachi, because something I wanted to mention too is that Ruben Fuentes was part of and also very well known of the also well known Mariachi Vargas de Tecalitlan. These mariachi, I mean, they also like to, uh, even though they're a mariachi and they play with the typical instruments and they have the typical sound, they also like to um, do some experiments and play some avant-garde things. For example, you can find them playing uh, orchestral arrangements or orchestral music played with mariachi, or also bringing music. For example, in these days, they bring some of the more modern pop music turned into a mariachi, and that's the ensemble is still going on these days, and they've been so successful. They have great musicians. So Ruben Fuentes was one of the arrangers and composers for Mariachi Vargas in the 1950s. So well, yeah, that talks about the great qualities he had as a composer. And well, now moving on to the to how can we enjoy the concert? Yes, there's this. Well, we have our own Facebook page, Quinteto Alices. I can share with you so you get more the actual link, and so you can share it also. And from the Facebook page of the Tres Museos complex, which I mean, they actually will be producing and broadcasting the concert, and well, we'll share it with you, and then you can share with all your audience.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely put that on. I think Facebook is the one that has the most reach for us, but we also have a YouTube channel, and of course, we have the blog, the carloschavezproject.com. So
Mhm.
we'll put that on there as well. I'm so happy that we were able to touch base and talk about this concert that sounds like it's
Yeah, thank you so much for giving us a chance to talk
yeah,
about
no,
it.
and thank you for programming this music. And no offense to Hindemith or Nielsen, right? Because they're also amazing and we
Oh
love them.
yeah,
But but it's good that to hear woodwind quintets also tackle this music as well. It's definitely deserving. So
sure, yeah, and I think it's part of our responsibility. I think as us as being, I mean, from this region of the world, from being from this country, and well, you know, given how the spreading of the culture and and music is from here, I mean, I think it's yes, we need to know all the classics, and yeah, we need to play everything that has to be played. But also, I mean, we have to share and spread what's from here, what's from us.
yeah, absolutely. All right.
So here we are.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.